Sveiki and welcome back to your irregular Latvian what's in my Soviet suitcase? I have recently been to Latvia, and so I thought that this is a perfect time to bring to life an idea that I have had for a long time but never had the props to show. Latvian things that are so excellent that I buy an extra suitcase so that they can exist here in France where I live. I feel like after more than 10 years of being an expat, I have perfected this list. These are the best of the best. Of course, this is my personal opinion, right? This disclaimer. Some of the things in this suitcase I've been bringing to wherever I live at extra cost for over 10 years. Let's go. A note from the end of the video, I am about to reveal to you my best new discovery, so stick around until the end. A little story about this suitcase. This comes from Babushka's attic, because the first thing on my list, Latvian rudzu maize, rye bread, specifically this brand. This time, although it is not the first time it has happened to me, I bought so many of these that I had to switch out the bag I originally brought to act as my suitcase and go to Babushka's attic, where I found under cobweb and mouse remains this suitcase, which looks ancient but did the job. So this bread, impossible to buy anywhere other than Latvia as far as I'm aware, but it is the best bread because to me it tastes like Saule Pērkons Daugava sounds. Okay, it is Latvianness in one bite. It's not the only rye bread brand that I like. There's also Lāči. However, Telmani is the most dense one, and I like my bread dense. So I know what you're gonna say. Spilva chili, pickled chili, red hot chili peppers, is not very Latvian. However, this is a Latvian brand, despite it being produced in Turkey. Spilva pepperoni, pipari marinati. My husband is Turkish. He has tried them and confirmed you cannot buy these anywhere else than produced in Turkey, sold in Latvia, brought to France. They are spicy, but not too salty. I'm gonna make a completely unscientific claim and say that they are pickled Latvian style. Next is maybe a little bit unorthodox. It is zobu pasta, toothpaste, specifically from a brand Dzintars. Now, Dzintars is an old Latvian brand. Their website says that the history of Dzintars dates back to the mid-19th century, when there was a factory in Riga on Stabu Street. My mom and other women born in Soviet Latvia might also tell you that Dzintars was like the thing when it comes to perfumes in her day. Now they have had a redesign, which is how they got my attention a couple of years ago when I first picked up this toothpaste. I am somebody who hates the taste of toothpaste, specifically mint, but also any other that I have tried, those organic ones, it's just... However, this is excellent. This is rhubarb flavor, rabarbers. Dzintars has different flavors of their cosmetics, and each one they call in a different name of a Latvian city. So this one is Asari, which is one of the hoods in Jūrmala, where I'm from. Sweet-ish, refreshing-ish. Ingredients. No ingredients, just rhubarb. Wow, it even has its own rubric on their website. Perhaps I am not the only... no, there are different flavors. I guess because this is like an advanced whitening toothpaste, which I hadn't ever noticed before. They have rhubarb flavor, quince and apple flavor, which I haven't yet tried, blackcurrant, orange and peppermint, which sounds awful. Do they have the ingredientes? I don't know any of these names. Thanks to this toothpaste, I can brush my teeth. And if you have a similar hate for traditional toothpastes, you're welcome, because this might change your life. Then, as I had a bigger chemodans, I just went wild and also picked up a hand cream which smells absolutely awesome, and it has saved our dry and cracked hands. Like, mine are okay this year, but my husband is really not made for the cold weathers, you know, so his hands are just bleeding, and that hand cream helps. And as well, I picked up some lip balm. Speaking of hands, if you are worried or wondering about why my hands are black and look like I have been working with coal, it is because I have today fought and unfortunately lost a battle for my printer. My printer companion of many years has died. As you may know, I am a devoted printer. I love printing. I'm also a very loyal customer, so the printer that I had for many years, I really did give it my all to save it. Today, it failed me, as it has so many times over the years. So yes, despite my best CPR efforts, it is no longer with us, and feel free to leave your condolences as well as your printer recommendations in the comments, because I'm looking for a new printer now. Jesus Maria. When I go to Latvia and I bring a chemodans on the way back, it is for two things really, because everything else I've showed you, like, I would let it go, except maise and gramatas, books. There are bookshops in Latvia that I love so much that I would become their citizen. I would work there. I would become their global ambassador. Every time that I go to Latvia, you can be sure that you will find me Valters and Rapa in Old Town, Jānis Roze in Gallery Centers, and I have a love-hate relationship with Zvaigzne ABC on Valdemara Street too. I might skip that one, but the other two, never. As it is a new year, and I am a journaling person, it was time for me to pick up a new agenda from Jānis Roze. I love their agendas, and I will tell you why. First of all, one date per page, with the exception of weekends where you get 2 days in one page. But also, I don't know if you can see this, but they have the perfect design. It's lined, but the lines are dots, and they are of varying opacity. They are visible enough that I can treat it as an actual lined notebook and write my stream of consciousness in a nice and organized manner, but they're also light enough that I can completely ignore that these lines exist and treat this as a white page or like a bullet journal, which is great. And I have not found this kind of design with such light and even lighter lines anywhere else in the world. Also, like many Latvian agendas, this gives you the vārdadienas, the name birthdays of all of your Latvian friends. You also get a cheat sheet of all the important Latvian days, like celebration days and memorial days, as well as a little bit of information about these important celebratory days and the folk beliefs that go with those days. You also get blank lines at the end of the book, which you can use for your yearly reflections, manifestations, vision board, and etc., and a pocket to keep all of your extras and stuff like that. Now, if all of that weren't enough, then the final thing that is amazing about this notebook is that no matter how fat it gets, its spine never breaks. So it really is amazing for people like me who like to treat it as something between a writing and the junk journal and the painting journal and stuff like that. Now, the pages are not thick enough for you to do watercolors on them. However, for all other intents and purposes, perfect. In case you have been looking for the perfect journal, perhaps it is time for you to go to Jānis Roze, because the perfect journal is waiting for you there. And by the way, there's like different finishes too. You can get it in leather, or with these paper finishes, and this year it is a mushroom themed. I also, when I go to bookstores, so I buy books. My husband will tell you that my Latvian book collection is quite extensive. Buy them, yes. Read them takes a little bit of time. However, I like supporting Latvian writers, especially non-fiction ones, so I have no guilt. What I got this time is Latviešu dievības un gari, Latvian deities and spirits, the mythological kind, a monograph by one of my most admired Latvian historians, Janina Kursīte. I'm very excited to read her, as there are explanations, examples from folk songs, and different historical anecdotes about Latvian gods. Mara, Laima, Dēkla, the big ones, Jots, and also some that I didn't know about, like Dzelžu vīrs, the Iron Man. The Iron Man. The Latvian Iron Man. Then I also picked up this time 2 copies of Journal of the Latvian History Institute in printed form. Despite the fact that these are 2023 and 2024 editions, there was also 2025, but I picked up only these 2. I hadn't seen them before in Valters and Rapa, so I don't know if this is a new thing that they are publishing their research in actual printed form, but I love it. And they're also really cheap, so like €6 for approximately 10 full-length historic articles. Next! Chippies! Crisps. I will not spend a lot of time on it because it is unhealthy. However, I'm not a chocolate person, I'm not a sweets person. Chips are my sin of choice. And nowhere do they make potato chips as well as in Latvia. If only for the dill flavor, if only for the tomato flavor or the mushroom flavor more recently, but krējums and sīpols, tomats are the OG flavors of my childhood, and I want to see them on French supermarket shelves. Yeah. Also, Ādaži are making dippy sauces, which is like a powder that you can mix with sour cream or Greek yogurt. It also works. So it's like something that you can dip those chippies in. It is not healthy, but it is so good. Another thing that I bring from Latvia sometimes, because I also can get it in like Eastern European product stores nearby, are kārums cheezels, quark snack, viespienas ieriņš. Taste of my childhood. I think also a taste of my parents' childhood, because I think this also has been around forever. Let's see. Kārums, mass production of quark snacks began in the 1950s in the Soviet Union. At the end of 40s. Stalin snack. Despite its Soviet origins, it is a tasty symbol of Latvian childhood. Okay, and then I saved the best for last, plugged tea. And never ever did I think that I would be bringing another tea from Latvia than the tea that my babushka makes in Džūkste. But this is an exception. This is a relatively new brand, popped onto the market only a year or 2 ago. The best thing about this tea is that it is made by young and enthusiastic Latvian people with the support of the Latvian Young Startup Program, the Latvian Business Incubator. It has a special place in my heart because not only did Anna and I once have a dream of starting our own Latvian underwear company with expressions, Latvian kind of funny idiomatic expressions / memes to be printed on, an idea that didn't materialize because we were overwhelmed by how difficult it is to source good textiles, and especially shipping. Shipping was the thing that really... In fact, all of my business ideas that I have ever had, including some for Irregular Latvian, which if you want I could make a video about the graveyard of irregular Latvian business ideas. They're all paper related. Shipping is hard, and so I'm really happy that there's the Business Incubator program, which helps if everything works like it did when I was young. They were students when they started this tea, like high school students. And now it is sold globally in like 23 countries, and it is purchasable in the Riga airport, which is a great success and I love it. And it is really, really good. So this is Blossom, my favorite so far, although I also really like White Knight, and everything is organic. Everything is sustainable, and it is made from echinacea, sandula, peppermint, fireweed, corn flour, cowslip, and oregano. I could make a video about some of the ingredients in their very ingredient heavy teas, because my uncle, who is a composer, as you may know, once also just sent me a PDF that he created of the Latvian healing plants. But he collected all the medicinal uses of Latvian plants. We have reached the end. Oh no, this. Thank you for watching my irregular Latvian What's in My Soviet Chemodans. Check it out. I don't know exactly who this belonged to, but this was living in my grandma's attic, and now it's gonna be living with me. I hope that whether you are a Latvian living abroad or an expat of another country living in another country, you also have your kind of list of things that you just every time inconvenience not only yourself but your husband, wife, and I have even had bread shipped to me. Peter's mom, Peter is who you might remember from pancake video, his mom brought me like 50 spilvas when she was coming to visit Peter's and Undine at that time that they were living here with us in Strasbourg. So yeah, like I will go to great lengths to get these things that I love, but also these are like a wonderful connection that I have with my home country. So if you have a list of things, I also have a list of things that I don't bring in the suitcase, but that I still would like to be exported globally. So I might make a part 2, but while you are waiting for that, feel free to share your ideas, your lists of things that you either bring or would like to bring or would like to have available wherever you live. If you want to see a longer version of this video, head over to Patreon, where I will share that with you. And yeah, I'll see you soon maybe. Bye!